everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my garden. We are 2 weeks after last frost date. So I've been absent for the last couple weeks. 1 week in there I was traveling and I ended up going and visiting my son and daughter-in-law and grandchild. Hello everybody, how are you? And the next week I did yard work because I needed to do yard work so bad. And in between all those weeks and all those days, I eventually got my entire garden planted down to the last flower. So what I thought I'd do for you today is give you a quick tour. So you know me, I always take an opportunity to point out the flowers. Look at these pansies. Aren't they beautiful? I just think they are so lovely. I love having pansies in my garden. Right next to the pansies are my overwintered peppers. I haven't decided what I'm going to do about these. I've got 6 of them that survive the winter. They all have leaf curl and they just look sad. This one's not too bad. I may end up keeping that one. But I mean, look how close together the leaves are. They're not flowering anymore. This one has sun damage on it. This one has sun damage on it. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them. We'll see. In this little bed here, I have, these are lettuces, cut and come again lettuces, green onions over here. And then my lemon verbena is not a happy camper. But I got my lemon verbena in there. So this bed is doing okay. I had some tetsoi in here, but it had bolted, so I pulled it out. Next to that is these strawberries. These are called Buried Treasure Red. And they have beautiful red flowers on them. Aren't they gorgeous? So pretty. And I've gotten a few strawberries out of them too. So let's talk tomatoes. The week before Memorial Day weekend, we got some really cold weather. The nights were down in the high 30s. And I had my entire garden planted. So, and Memorial Day weekend came late this year. So I couldn't do anything. I just had to cross my fingers and hope that the plants survived. Well, they did. The tomatoes survived. However, they have this problem. So look at these leaves. Now I have done a lot of research and looked at thousands of pictures. And this is cold weather damage. So it's on almost everything. And you can see the new growth does not have it. I thought maybe it was early blight, but we don't usually get early blight here. I always get late blight, but not early blight. So I am going to, I gave them a good drink of fertilizer last weekend. I'll eventually end up cutting these leaves off. I wanted them to grow a little bit more. And I'm going to spray them with baking soda spray, which is to a gallon of water. I'll add a tablespoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of cooking oil, any kind of vegetable oil that you have, and a couple drops of a clean, fragrance-free dish soap. And I'm also going to add an aspirin in there, and that will help the tomato plant with its defenses. And I'm going to spray all these. And that way you can be sure, just in case, because right now they look like they're vulnerable. So I want to make sure that they don't pick up any diseases when they're in this vulnerable state. But all the tomatoes are growing really well. They're now about 3 feet high. And lots of flowers. I've noticed lots of flowers on them. So they're doing really well, other than that cold weather damage that happened. And it happened to all of them. It's interesting to see the different leaf varieties. These are potato leaf ones. So, yeah, they're all doing really well. They just look terrible. Next to the tomatoes are my cucumbers, and they also have cold weather damage. But the new leaves coming up are looking very good. So, cucumber, 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 cucumber. And then this is cantaloupe here. Next to the cucumbers and the cantaloupes are my peas. The little short ones are snow peas. And the bigger ones are sugar snap peas. Let me go on the other side. So the sugar snap peas are really flowering up a storm and starting to form their peas. So it shouldn't be long now, and I will have sugar snap peas, which I absolutely love. In these pots here, I've got peppers. These are all hot peppers. And you can see, here's a poblano. Got a pretty good sized poblano pepper on there already. So they're doing very well. Peppers are perfectly happy in pots. Sometimes I think they almost do better in pots because they stay a little warmer. But yeah, they're doing really well. Even the jalapeno here is forming some peppers. Next to the hot peppers are my beans. They're doing very well in pots. Beans are another thing that do very well in pots. These are bush beans. So you won't, these will not climb. They'll get a little bit bigger than this, and that's it. So they are just about ready to flower. But they're doing very well. Rhubarb is doing well. It's just about ready to pick. I was over at my friend's house who has the parent plant to this one, and it's huge. So this one is doing pretty well though. Next to the rhubarb is zucchini. We have zucchini here again. Cold damage. Zucchini here. 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 And here. This bed here is my onions. I've been in here a couple times and weeded it, but they all seem to be doing pretty well. I'm crossing my fingers, man. I just have the worst luck with onions. So I'm hoping that these do well. Herb beds. Lots of herbs. They're looking really good. Sorry about the wind. This is oregano. Just beautiful. This is parsley. I need to trim that up. And then if you look over here in my broccoli bed, well, the marigolds look lovely. However, the broccoli has blown. So these are mini broccolis here. I should probably cut that off and eat it. Oh, bee. So I'm leaving these flowers here for the bees. This broccoli here doesn't even have a head yet. So that one hasn't blown yet. But look at how lovely these marigolds are. I'm a sucker for marigolds. Love them. Next to them is my yarrow. It's just about ready to bloom. This yarrow is multicolored. It's yellow and orange and pink. So that'll be pretty when it finally blooms. In this bed I've got some parsley. Cabbage is really getting eaten. I don't see any cabbage worms on it, but I think they hide when they see me coming. So if that doesn't make it, I'm fine with that. But we do have some ornamental peppers in here, along with some zinnias. Those are ornamental little tiny pepper plants in there. And the elecampane is about up to my shoulders. That's how high it is. So it's doing very well, as it always does. So we are on the outside of my raised beds right now and looking at pepper plants. These are mostly sweet peppers in here. You can see we're getting fruit on the peppers, which is actually pretty early. Look at this one. So yeah, they're doing really well. This is sage. I think it's time to do a harvest of sage. More peppers here. This is a bell type. These have peppers on them. This one is called the Cajun Bell. It's got a little bit of spice to it. And this is also Cajun Bell down here. Pretty flowers. These are more peppers. I can't find the tag. Oh, this is jalapeno here. This one is called corbachi. It's a mildly spicy pepper, very good. Look at the zinnia. And that one. And that one. And that one. This is an ornamental pepper here. This is hyssop. And if you run your fingers over it, it smells like a skunk. It's like an herby skunk. It's smelling better the older it gets. So that's looking very good. That's perennial. And look at this pepper. Isn't that gorgeous? With the black foliage and the green. It's just gorgeous. This is called black ember, and it's an ornamental pepper. This is the back side of the broccoli. And over here we have another black ornamental pepper. This one is called explosive ember. Another hyssop plant. And look at these. More zinnias. And my irises are just about done. Here's some more flowers. So one of the things I did differently this year is instead of having all my flowers in one bed, I've interspersed them throughout the garden. So that's a little different for me this year, and I kind of like that. I think last year I just had too much stuff in the garden and I wasn't able to do that. So these are potatoes, and I have never had plants this big. Now it looks like something has gotten in here. and push the potato plants over. I don't know what got in there. Some animal is sleeping in my potatoes, I'm sure. So these are huge, just huge. If I walk up to them, they are chest high to me. So they're all doing really well. And this is I always have flowers in this pot. Aren't these lovely? I think so. And this lobelia, the blue, is one of my favorites. We've got spinach. And we're supposed to have temps in the 90s this weekend. I have a feeling that's going to end up bolting. Kale is doing very well. This is blue curled Scotch kale. My favorite type of kale to grow. The tetsoi and the mizuna I had to pull out because it all bolted. So I threw some flowers in here. And then in here are my lettuces. I have a feeling these black-seeded Simpsons are going to bolt this weekend. I've been getting a lot of lettuce out of them, and they're really good. This lettuce is really good. It's nice and crunchy. It's like a combination of romaine and iceberg. So really good. And then these are all romaines, and they are forming their heads right now. You can see that. So they're doing very well. Next to them is kohlrabi, just starting to form. And in the last end of the bed, I've got radishes, carrots. I had to replant these carrots. These are the ones from the original planting, and then these are the ones that were replanted. So we're a little behind on these. And then these are radishes. Almost forgot these. These are my little mini cabbages. And they're doing very well. Now they're not being bothered nearly as much by cabbage worms. There's like not a mark on the leaves, which surprises me. So if the cabbage worms want to eat the other ones and leave these alone, I'm perfectly happy with that. But yeah, they're all doing really well. So that is it for this garden tour. I wanted to kind of make it short and sweet and just kind of show you how everything is doing. I fertilized last weekend. I don't know if I said that. I'm going to fertilize every 2 weekends. I really want to get on a good fertilization schedule. And then I'm going to spray these and the tomato plants. And I'll probably end up spraying those every 2 weeks as well. Once blight season gets here, I will spray them more often, probably every 10 days instead of 2 weeks. Or anytime after it rains, if it ever rains again, we'll see. So, but yeah, we're not having any rain. It kind of spit at us today. It's not really raining, but it's just, I don't know, it just dries up. It's like up north, they're getting tons of rain, and here we're not getting anything. So we're in a really severe drought here. Some black clouds over there, but they're not dropping any rain. They're not giving it up, so I wish they would, because this is really getting tedious. Fortunately, I have a timer on my irrigation system, and I don't have to worry about it. It just runs when it runs, so that's really nice. But there's nothing like a good rainfall for helping your garden. All right, thank you so much for watching this episode of Sharon's Home and Garden. If you like what you saw here, don't forget to click on that subscribe button. And until next time, happy gardening, everybody. Bye-bye.